All right, I'm so excited to bring him on. Last week he crushed, of course. Miami being 3-0, Florida State being 0-3, and Florida being 1-2. I mean, the recruits have got to come home now. I mean, are these schools losing recruits yet, or what, Rasta?
No, it's gonna be a longevity thing, right? So, you'll have a couple kids that'll probably decommit, like we've seen last couple, I think last week, today. Um, but I think it's a long game, right? And Mario Cristobal knows that. The staff understands that, right? Like, you win 3 games beginning of the season. That's great news, right? But a lot of these kids, they want to see the longevity. Like, can Mario get to 8-0, 9-0? Can he go to Louisville, win? Obviously, Cal's making a statement, going on the road to win at Auburn. They come to Tallahassee this weekend. Can they go undefeated when we face them? That'll be a tough road game. These teams want to start seeing that. We play Friday night next week against Virginia Tech, home base. So they want to see those type of games, right? Like, it is great being 3-0, but Miami's been here before, right? Like, it's not the first time we've been 3-0. So a lot of these kids, they're happy, they're excited, but they want to see, can we sustain it, right? I do think we get great news later on. We got great news today. Malachi Tony reclasses, right? That's
Yep.
big news. But as far as like the flips, the excitement of recruiting, the snowball effect, it's coming. I
Now,
would think maybe end of October, early November.
Rasta, Malachi Tony reclassifying. Why is that such a big deal?
Just anytime you can get these young men to one sign early is big news, right? Obviously Ohio State's going to come calling, and I was just talking about this morning on my Discord. When stuff like this happens, some of those schools that may have not even been recruiting him or pushing for him, they're going to call now. Hey, we want to get you down here to visit. Let's get you on official. And some kids, like, they didn't get that opportunity because they're 26 kids, they're younger kids. So now he can get an opportunity to take official visits. And, obviously Miami's going to do everything they can to hold on to him. Extremely talented young man from South Florida, from a pipeline school. You want to land him. He's a massive recruit. So, getting him to reclassify and you've already got him committed, that's kind of like the foot in the door. Now you just got to finish these last few months to get him, on campus.
Okay, I'm gonna spit out a couple names at you. You tell me where they are in their recruiting process. I know some of them are committed to the other schools, but let's start with Tyler Williams.
Yeah, Miami actually was one of the first schools to offer him, evaluated him very, very early. Georgia come in, offered him, give him, let him commit on site. So obviously it's hard to turn down, 2-time defending national champs, and it looks like they're gonna be right there in it again. So it's hard to defend those guys off in general, but Miami has never stopped, talking to him. Miami's still chipping away. Um, I would expect him to get on campus soon. As he's got a teammate, Gerard Pringle, our running back,
Yep.
committed. We're after Kellen Wiley, a linebacker that's also on his team. And Miami's got some 26 guys like Jalen Waters, who's committed to Florida, that we're after to flip too. So, he's a guy that he's going to have a lot of orange and green. He's going to see that you a lot, which is it benefits everything for Miami, so I don't think that's anywhere done. I think Miami's still kind of in there trying to chip away. And I think Miami could, if they really do push and put together a great season, I think Miami could actually, kind of get in there.
So Gerard Pringle, and I want to throw this out there. Look, we only recruit dogs, and I get that, but that running back room is deep, and you know where I stand on AJ Allen. The disrespect to AJ Allen every single week, and he showed out. Finally, they gave him the rock. To me, there's no one on that team that's. I love all our backs. They could start anywhere else in the country, but the running back room is deep. Gerard
Mhm.
Pringle, I know you say usually 2 backs a year. How could you be a running back going, you know what? I want to go into that running back room that's so deep. That's
Yeah.
amazing to me that that's the kind of players they're getting.
Yeah. When you're a top program, when you're at that level, and when you're producing running backs, if you go to Georgia, Georgia's always got a stable. They've always had stables. They're going to continue to recruit faster. A lot of those kids' mentality is, I still want to go there and compete because it's going to make me better. And just because I go there doesn't mean I can't play.
Mhm.
Georgia's true freshmen, they had some guys go down. Their true freshman is starting right now.
True.
At Texas, they've had a stable of running backs. You got Jared Gibson is another freshman. He's starting right now because of injuries. So like they understand the running back position is a very injury prone position because they take a lot of beating. And the way that Mario Cristobal rotates his back, and I think a lot of things that, like I was telling you yesterday when we were talking, I think a lot of things that are forgotten is we just extended more games. So if you're a playoff team, you're looking at possibly a 2, maybe 3 if you're a wild card team. Going into the playoffs, that's a lot of carries, right? And it comes on a pitch count. We use this with baseball all the time. You don't want to use your pitchers all season the same, right? Because when you get in the playoffs, you need them. So it's the same thing. Like, Damian Martinez, I think he had like 3 snaps last weekend, right? He didn't even play, but then
Now,
you had eight.
was that because of an injury? Because I found that pretty odd that he only played 3 snaps, or was it an injury, or the coach was like, we got this?
No, it was one of those. Like I think he's fine. I mean, running back, you're always going to maybe have a sore knee or a sore hip because you're taking a beating, right? So,
Yeah.
but it's nothing impressive. I haven't heard anything of him being actually injured. But when you got a guy that's hot like a Jordan Lyle, he's running the rock great. Then you get AJ Allen to come in. It's like, why would I? It's Ball State. No disrespect to him.
Yeah.
But we're up, 42-0.
Yeah.
No point of putting him in, man. We're doing what we're supposed to
I,
do, and
I love that you talked me off the ledge yesterday because I was like, why are they disrespecting AJ Allen like this? And you go, dude, it's a long season. They already know what he can do.
By the way, just this whole conversation, back when we were our best, that's what we had. We had a running back room at one point was Clinton Portis, Najee, Willis McGay, and Frank Gore were in the same running back room.
Absolutely.
Like, that's crazy. But that's when we were at our best because, like you said, the good people want to go play. We want to play with the other good people. You want the competition. You want, if that person unfortunately gets injured, you want to step up and be like, yo, this is how good I am.
I get it. I get it, Forrest. But you can't tell me AJ Allen is the 4th or 5th back on this team. That's what blows me away about this whole thing. Like, he's so explosive, man. There's nobody on that team explosive like him.
Well, so I think you gotta when you're because a lot of people like to rank them, right? Like by their starting position. I don't think you can do that with this running back room. Because they all bring a different stable to it, right? Like Damian Martinez is your like I'm gonna do everything for you. Whatever you need, I can get it done, right? Mark Fletcher looks like the same mold, big 6'2", 235, 245-pound running back. And then you got Chris Johnson and Hellcat that are blazers. Guys run 4.2s. And then you got AJ Allen, who he's not a scat back, but he's not slow, and he's not just a run between the tackle dudes because he's not just a big bulky. Like he can do it all, right? So I think it's hard with our running back room to say, man, this is 1, 2, and 3 and 4, and I think that's why like Dawson and Mario, they run the running back room the way they do, and you've seen a lot of Jordan Lyle, right? Like, I mean, for a true freshman who just got here a few months ago, to have almost as much snaps as anybody, it's almost unheard of, right? Like usually you're trying to get Mark Fletcher back in the mold.
But I guess that's my point right there. Like, you can't tell me, look, in no disrespect to any backs, because they're all great. They all could start somewhere. But you can't tell me Lyle deserves more snaps than AJ Allen. I mean, there's no way. They're not even close right. Just look at the tape. They're not even close right now.
Right. But that's what I was telling you. Like I was telling you yesterday, when you look at our running back room, and it's such a huge position that gets banged up, you've got to be able to keep these guys fresh, right?
That's true.
The thing with Jordan Lyle is we don't even know if Mario and Coach Merritt, any of them's plan is we're going to use him the first 4 games, then sit him down and redshirt him. That's right. Still a possibility. Same with Hellcat. Hellcat got banged up. He might come back and play 2-3 games just to get some snaps and then redshirt. So I mean, the way things are right now, I wouldn't pay too much attention to. It can go many different ways.
And let's be honest, we'll really know what running backs they trust when they start playing the better teams. Because these other teams right now, it's like, all right, but when they start playing the Louisville, the Virginia Tech Friday night, even this weekend, we'll find out who they trust. I don't want to spend too much time on running backs because I love AJ Allen. Let's talk about DJ Pickett because we need DJ Pickett committed to LSU. I saw him pop down at a game, and also there's rumors he may come back for the Florida State game, just like a lot of these big recruits. What are you hearing about Pickett?
Yeah, I mean, so like we had a show last night and had his cousin on, Cannon Pickett, Booker Pickett's brother. Um, and a lot of these kids are all talking Florida State, right? When's your next visit? When you come, Florida State, Florida State. That's all you're hearing.
Yep.
So I definitely expect DJ Pickett there. I wouldn't be shocked, and this isn't me spreading a rumor or whatever, because I haven't talked to DJ about it, but I
Spread it.
wouldn't be
Spread
shocked.
it.
Now, I wouldn't be shocked if he was in Tampa this weekend. You know, all those kids right there in that area, Gerard Pringle,
Pringle.
Kellen Wiley, a lot of those guys, they're all going to USF game. So I mean, it's right around the corner from him. So I wouldn't be shocked if hey, he stops by and just checks the game out. Um, but like I'm feeling comfortable, man. Like when you're looking, if we do what we're supposed to do, and LSU's looking kind of the way they are, they almost lost this weekend to South Carolina.
Yep.
Bad loss to Cal. They got some other, or not Cal. I'm sorry, USC, but they got some other big games coming up. LSU could take a beating, right? So I'm feeling confident that Mario he'll take care of business, and you know we'll win out in the end in December.
And my last one, Solomon. Where are we with Solomon? I mean, he's great for the position. We really want to. Where are we at with him?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Solomon, right, is Miami was in with him super early. He commits to Florida State out of nowhere, and he seemed loyal. You see some guys, you know, doubling down on their commitments to Florida State. We remember those days through Al Golden, double down commitments and all of that. I would just watch his recruitment. If he shows up to Hard Rock Stadium this year, maybe a couple times, we should start feeling good, you know. But thing with Mario to me when it comes to O line, right? We talk about Solomon, you got Michael Carroll who's just on campus as well, the other massive name that Mario's trying to flip. I don't think Mario's going to just hone in on one guy, right? When it comes
Yeah.
to O line, he's going to put his claws out, see who latches on. But a guy like Solomon Thomas, man, he's an in-state guy, 5-star. He's a guy you can't really let slip through the cracks, and especially go ruin his career at Florida State. So if we can get him down a couple times, I would like to see where Miami finishes. But LSU, Auburn, Georgia, and Alabama, those are guys too that are going to kick the tires on Solomon.
And of course, next time I talk to you, I want to talk about some legacies. Of course, they're harder to flip, like Vernon and Ben Hanks, but we'll talk about that next time. Give me your score for this week's game, Miami versus USF. Is it USF? I think it is. Yeah.
USF. I said this yesterday, man. 52-14. I think we walk in there and just complete domination. When it comes to USF, their quarterback depends on his legs a little more. He's a little inaccurate. Like he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he's still got a little bit inaccuracy, and it doesn't have elite receivers. But you got Naquan Wright, who's right down the road here from Carroll City. He's going to be the running back up there. He's going to want to ball out. All Miami kids love to ball out against Miami, so he's going to want to put on and try to make a great game. But honestly, man, I think Mario goes up there with Guidry and schemes to completely shut down the run. And I think you see some spies with maybe Elijah Austin, who did a phenomenal job last week with that. And then Wesley, I think Wesley will kind of spy everywhere Naquan Wright goes. So I think Miami goes up there, does what they're supposed to do, and leaves Tampa with a W, big W.
All right, Rasta, thank you so much for your time, homie.
For sure, man.
Oh, how can people find you? Tell everybody how they can find you, man.
So our YouTube channel is Sebastian Lane Behind the Mask. Twitter, Instagram is Rasta Edits. You'll see our graphics and everything on my page. So check us out, Twitter, Instagram. We are back live every Monday at 8 p.m.
All right, and if you missed what he just said, it's all in the description right there. Just follow links, check them out. Rasta, thank you so much, man.
No problem, man. Have a good one, fellas.